Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we've got a brand new plastic kit to add to the arsenal, the Leviathan Siege Dreadnought. But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're into Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, or Horus Heresy content, everything from reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion, tutorials. But let's jump right in. So Heresy Thursday, the plastic Leviathan Siege Dreadnought is a walking artillery piece. Pre-orders for the new edition of Warhammer the Horus Heresy open this very Saturday, and anticipation is reaching fever pitch. As if all the updated rules marching out of the Emperor's labs weren't enough, there are so many detailed and versatile new plastic kits in store that you need genetically augmented super soldier senses just to be able to process it all. Allow us to fry your overloaded neurons just a little bit more, and with yet another kit crossing the resin Rubicon, the Leviathan Siege Dreadnought coming to plastic. So obviously this is awesome. Looks very similar to the current Leviathan Siege Dreadnought offered from forgeworld. Obviously there are a lot of people that do like resin, but I think as far as overall cost, it's going to be cheaper coming from Games Workshop instead of forgeworld, so that is definitely a benefit. I will have all of the weapon options probably available in the kit. So for magnetization and just overall, that will be a bonus as well. And, you'll be able to swap between those weapons if you do magnetize them, or depending how the kit is created. And then also, I think for a lot of people, there is a lot of extra work and, knowledge that is required, effort, however you want to put it, to work on resin. A lot of times, obviously, you need to clean it very well, and then you need to let it dry, and then you need to make sure that everything is shaped correctly. Sometimes you have to use heat and other methods to basically get things to shape and fit properly, and then after that, you go into the regular painting steps. But it can be a bunch of extra hassle, and then even after everything is all said and done, the resin is much more brittle than plastic, so if something does happen, you're more likely to break your resin model. So me personally, I always prefer plastic, but I can understand some people still like the resin. I'm sure there'll be plenty of resin ones floating around still, but for the rest of us, this bad boy is awesome. Looks great. Let's see some of these close-up pictures. These massive dreadnoughts were secretly developed on Terra in the later days of the Great Crusade, away from the prying ocular lenses of the Mechanicum, and no wonder you don't want this kind of firepower getting into the hands of your rivals. Fortunately, the Emperor only issued the design to those he trusted. Like Horus. This is the first time these walking heavy weapons platforms have been available in plastic, and the weight has been truly worth it. Sporting far heavier armor and even bigger guns than the already intimidating Contemptor Dreadnought, the Leviathan truly lives up to its name. And these things are awesome and have tons of great firepower. And it's really cool again because even though this is technically for Horus Heresy, you can take these in Warhammer 40,000. So it's kind of a bonus crossover there as well. So we see a bunch of different weapon options. Very cool. This posable kit is loaded for range combat with a choice of 3 types of arm weapons: the Grav Flux Bombard, the Cyclonic Melta Lance, and the Storm Cannon, as well as a choice of 2 integrated hull weapons, paired heavy flamers, or twin-linked Volkite calibers. You even have the option to outfit it with a carapace-mounted Phosphex Discharger for the extra toxic anti-infantry sting in the tail. This Battlefield Colossus will be here to tear up the battlefield on the 31st millennium. That's weird that they have battlefield twice in a row like that. In terrifying style very shortly. You'll also be able to get rules to use in your games of Warhammer 40,000 for while Leviathans are rare in the 41st millennia, some are still knocking around and making a proper nuisance of themselves. So obviously we have rules currently. They're going to do some updated rules as well. So very cool. I'm glad they listed off all of the weapons because there's no way I could remember all of them. These are the Volkite calibers, and you can have twin heavy flamers instead, like twin paired ones. This is the Grav Flux Bombard right here, and then the Cyclonic Melta Lance. Out of Tau brain fart there for a moment. And then we have this is the Cyclic Melta again, and then this is the oh my gosh, I already can't remember. What is it? Siege Cannon? Storm Cannon, that's it. Storm Cannon, and then on top we have the Phosphex Discharger, which is basically like a little missile launcher up there. So very cool. I think this looks great. I will definitely be picking up one or more of these bad boys. It'll be really easy to kind of flavor this to your army, add some decals or just like custom paint, etc. I like that it's going to have the weapons available. The only issue I see with this, honestly, right off the bat, is if this is one dreadnought body and then comes with 3 weapons, one of each of those main 3 weapons, you're going to be in trouble if you're trying to use like paired weapons, because basically you're going to need a whole second model to have that second gun option. So a lot of times people will take the Leviathan Storm Cannon, and they'll take 2 of them. So it could be an issue if you don't get 2 in the box set and you want to build your guy with 2 of the storm cannons, obviously. So that's just speculation. We don't know what the options will be. We do know that it's going to provide at least multiple weapon options, but we don't know if you'll get duplicates. I'm assuming you will not, as I don't think we've ever seen a dreadnought previously come with like 2 of the same option. So that could be an issue. Obviously you'll be able to potentially 3D print an extra one, get a hold of a current Forge World extra one, maybe trade with a friend or on a forum. Somebody who wants 2 of one weapon and you want 2 of a different weapon, you could do a swap or possibly just buy it on the third party. Maybe even Games Workshop will offer additional weapon packages for the dreadnoughts like they did for the troopers. I don't think that's likely, but any of those are possibilities, obviously. It's really, honestly, it should come with 2 of each weapon, but I understand it's not going to. So it puts you in a weird spot, because when you go on the Forge World website and you buy your dreadnought, you can buy just the body or you can buy just the weapons. So you can essentially buy a kit with what you need in it, with 2 weapons and the body, or you can pick 2 of the same weapon. But anytime you would get it normally, you're not going to get 2 of the same weapon, typically, with those Forge World kits. So, but you do have the option to purchase the separate weapons. So you might pay, I can't remember what it costs. It's like $20 for the weapon or something like that. So you can basically buy the body for $80 and then just pick which 2 weapons you want for $20 a piece. Now, this is probably going to come in closer to, I would imagine the real big tanks had come in at 125, the larger one that we saw, the Kratos. So, and the Rhino was right around normal price, like 45 for that. So I would expect this. He's a big, beefy dreadnought. The Contemptor is like smaller than this for sure. The Leviathan is a little bit more similar to probably like the Primaris dreadnought, the Redemptor, like in size and everything. So I would assume it's probably going to be around Redemptor price. Plus it's coming out new, so it's probably going to have a little premium on it. So I think we could probably guess. I think the Redemptor is probably somewhere around like 80 right now. The Land Raider is like 95. New tanks are like 125. So I think this thing is probably going to come out about, I would say $85, somewhere around there. I think it'll still be under 100. Probably not by much though. But I think it will be slightly more expensive than the Redemptor. But very nice kit overall. Definitely excited for these bad boys. This is a really cool model, and there's some awesome ways to pose the current kit. So assuming this is a basically similar setup and everything, should be able to set this guy up and make him look pretty awesome with like some epic scenes. And this is a nice sort of like kind of just mainstay for a lot of armies. Just one of these big beefy boys in the middle, a bunch of nice shooting and everything, and then you can kind of build your army around it. He's like a, just a concrete brick just holding down the fort. Very, very nice. Basically the option your opponent has is to either spend a ton of resources trying to kill this thing, or else just sort of like kind of ignore it. So when you send this guy right up like the kind of center, kind of casually, so he has range on key objectives or key areas, choke points, etc. But he's still kind of insulated by troopers or whatever else you have around. These things can cause complete devastation, and they can win you a lot of games because they really mess with your opponent's like psyche and ability to play the game. So very nice model, very cool. I've used these quite a few times, and they are fun with like various different chapters. So very exciting. Definitely looking forward to what other kits come to. So far, honestly though, I mean, it's like I picked what kits they were going to make, because they've already made, the Leviathan is by far my favorite of the Forge World Dreadnoughts. And then on top of that, well, of the Space Marine Forge World Dreadnoughts, because the Custodes ones are pretty cool too. But on top of that, the Kratos is amazing. I never even imagined that we were going to get like equivalent, like, super tank version of the Sicarian, but the Sicarian is my favorite of the Forge World tanks altogether. So when it's all said and done, we've already got like two of my absolute favorite models coming to plastic, and I imagine probably a lot of other people feel the same way too. So I would be really, really excited, and I don't know if any of the Horus Heresy releases, at least like initially, are going to be non-Marines and Chaos, but I would be really, really excited if they redid the Custodes Dreadnoughts in plastic. That would be absolutely awesome, because those are my other obviously favorite models as well. So looking really forward to essentially more and more stuff coming over from Forge World to Games Workshop, because the truth is Forge World doesn't need to go away. They can keep making shoulder pads and little niche items and everything. That's totally cool. But GW should be making these super popular, big, awesome kits like this. So it is great to see this transition taking place. I think it's a smart move on GW's part. And to tell you the truth, I always say, I keep it real with you guys. I call out GW when they do stupid stuff, and I praise them when they do good stuff. And the truth is, I think this is great. So I think GW is definitely making some positive steps in the right direction. So that is very good to see. Now, arguably, they're making some steps forward while they're making some steps back, but it is what it is. The truth is, they're doing great stuff with the most recent plastic releases for Horus Heresy / 40k. So let me know what you think down below. Are you going to be picking up this big boy? And what faction is he going to be joining, or Legion, or color scheme, whatever you want to call it. So that's it. Always appreciate hearing from you guys. Everybody have a great day. Definitely make sure to let me know down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. What do you got to lose? I post at least one video every single day. Everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and of course some Horus Heresy, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials. Check out the playlist, and then of course all kinds of reactions, reviews, and news. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.